Hello and a very warm welcome, a rarity on the channel as I'm going to defend Kevin Magnussen. Corruption all day long, his penalty at Italy. I really do believe they made a mistake not banning him for previous incidents, and as soon as he has an incident, they've jumped on it, and now he has a race ban. He's accumulated 12 points. That means he will have to miss a race. He's got 2 penalty points for that incident at Italy. It's corruption all day long. It's one of the worst penalties I've ever seen in Formula 1. It is not a penalty, and Kevin Magnussen has every right to be fuming. That is never a penalty in a month of Sundays. I've watched it back a good 10 times, and yeah, it's a racing incident. And Magnussen has come out and said practically they don't want racing in Formula 1. And you have to agree with him, because his penalty is ridiculous. 10 seconds for that contact with Gasly is ridiculous. It shouldn't even go to the stewards. Shouldn't even be an investigation. Just get on with it. Gasly and Magnussen survived. They both carried on. They didn't have damage. I mean, it was a nothing incident. Of course, Magnussen had a lockup. He's gone into Gasly, tyre to tyre, but we're racing. Why are we so soft? Soft mentality. It's disgusting. Ricciardo, on lap 1, pushed Hülkenberg on the grass at 200 mile an hour. He gets 5 seconds. Yet Magnussen bangs wheels with Gasly and he gets 10. Make it make sense. Where's the consistency? Hülkenberg takes out Tsunoda. 10 seconds. Magnussen gets the same as Hülkenberg, who's just took someone out of the race. Hülkenberg deserved his penalty, but Magnussen gets the same treatment. And it's just wheel to wheel. It's a nothing incident. They both go straight on. They carry on. Magnussen had an exceptional race. An exceptional race in the Haas. One of his better races. Yes, I've called out Kevin Magnussen numerous of times, and I do believe the ban is probably warranted for his previous incidents. Miami basically skipping the track to stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton to help Hülkenberg score points. Driving very slowly, dangerous, taking out Logan Sargent. And then Monaco, where he basically caused the first lap collision. So yeah, his ban is warranted. But that penalty at Italy is absolutely disgusting. It's corruption all day long by the FIA. The stewards have not got a clue what they're doing. I mean, if this is Lewis Hamilton, Max, there's absolute uproar about it. Imagine, Max has got a race ban, Lewis has got a race ban for the same incident. There'd be uproar, but because Kevin Magnussen drives a Haas, no one cares. And it's wrong. It should be called out. That is never ever a penalty. Magnussen went for an overtake. He did lock up, but it's a nothing incident. They've brushed wheels and they carry on. Magnussen was on fire and he deserved more. Yeah. He's accumulated 12 penalty points. It's a joke penalty on Gasly. Racing incident, and they both survived. Serious questions need to be asked about this, because, as I say, if it was Lewis and Max, there'd be uproar. But no one cares because it's Haas and Kevin Magnussen. It's wrong. It's corrupt. It is a corrupt penalty. I believe they've panicked like cat in litter. The first time he's had an incident, they should have banned him at Monaco. They bottled it. And now, the first time he has a big incident again, they ban him. Yeah. Probably deserves a race ban for his incidents, as I said before. Miami and Monaco is a disgrace by Magnussen. But I have to say, I'm backing him this time. It's one of the worst penalties I've ever seen. And I have to agree with Magnussen that they don't want racing. It's ridiculous. How he has got a 10-second penalty for that, I will never know. I will never know. Yeah. In the past, I've took a lot of stick from the Danes when I said Magnussen's a dirty driver. But this time, I'm backing him. Yeah. Ricciardo forcing Hülkenberg off. Yeah, going up into Ascari was 5 seconds. Yeah, this one's 10 seconds. This one should never go upstairs. It shouldn't be investigated. It's a racing incident. Carry on. We're in Formula One, supposedly the pinnacle of sport, but anytime we have contact, it's an instant penalty. But make it make sense. I am struggling. I've watched F1 a long time, and that is one of the worst decisions I've seen in a long time. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Magnussen and Haas should appeal it, but they don't appeal it. And Haas have taken responsibility, saying Magnussen should not be behind Gasly in the first place. But yeah, he had a great race, Magnussen. He was fast. He put some good moves. We know he's an aggressive driver. Look at the past moves. The one on Leclerc at Suzuka, putting Gasly in the wall at Baku. Yeah. It is a corrupt decision, and it's not right. People need to call this out, because we cannot be having penalties for literally a rub of wheels. I mean, can you imagine Senna? These greats, they'd be turning in their grave with the way Formula One is at the minute. It is so soft. Woke Brigade have as many like diversity pundits as you can say. I mean, come on, man. Let's have a bit of realism. The Hulk one, 10 seconds. You could argue he could have got more for that. Do not want racing, and Kevin Magnussen was speechless, and I have to agree with him. And now Kevin Magnussen misses Baku for just trying to put an overtake. Yeah. Ollie Behrman will probably come in for Magnussen. Be interesting to see what he can do, given he'll be in a Haas and he'll be in that car next year. You can't give penalties for this. Like Senna said it, if I no longer go for a gap, I am no longer a racing driver. And I may as well stay at home if I'm not going to go for the gap. I mean, that literally sums it up in a nutshell. Yeah, you can't give a penalty for that, because you may as well stay at home. And Magnussen will be staying at home for the Baku weekend. It's like F1, they knew they should have banned Magnussen in the first place, and as soon as he has an incident, they just ban him straight away. And it's unwarranted. It's a joke. A criminal decision by the FIA and stewards. I'm actually going to see who the stewards was this weekend, because that is disgusting. Disgusting. If I'm the stewards, the FIA, I say carry on. Hard racing, no damage. Gasly obviously will come on the blower and be like, oh, Magnussen pushed me off. But that's normal. There's no damage to either car. We should carry on. And we did carry on, but the 10 seconds, it's a disgrace. Luckily for Magnussen, he did manage to score a point, but he could have had a lot more. And for a team like Haas, they need the points. I'm struggling. I am really, really struggling with this one. It's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. Magnussen didn't warrant a penalty for this. I mean, he's got 10 seconds. He's got 2 points. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Honestly, we may as well stay at home if we're giving penalties for like that. Tomorrow, we tear McLaren in Newcastle. Look out for that one. But come on, I want some comments on this one. Defend Magnussen. You can call him out, and I've called him out many a times for his dirty antics. But let's have it right this time. He's done nothing wrong, in my opinion. The penalty's not warranted, it's not justified, and Magnussen needs some defence on his name. The big name should be calling this out. If this is Lewis Max, there's a big uproar about it, and the penalty probably gets taken away and no race ban. And that should happen to Magnussen, in my opinion. But Haas, why they've not appealed it, I'll never know.